Hello everybody, I'm the QuickSmasherEXE, bringing you another episode of Sid Meier's Civilization 6. We just completed this here bombard, which is pretty nice, so we're going to send him over. We've got another one we're working on in Warsaw, so I think that should comprise our whole bombard army. No, it's not, because we've got this bombard here, actually, so we might want another bombard, but I don't know where we'd get it. Damascus doesn't produce bombards fast enough. I mean, 12 turns is a pretty long darn time. I guess we could buy one. How much is a bombard? Probably way too much. It's only 925 gold, actually. But we don't know how much upgrades are going to be for our units, so... yeah, maybe. We shouldn't do that. I'm going to actually send these Mamluks out of our territory to make things a little easier to keep track of. Because they don't need to be in our territory to upgrade or any of that important stuff. We're just going to have this dude form a corps with this dude. And there, we've got 3 horseman corps that we are going to upgrade into knight stuff. And we're going to move this guy. We would move that guy if we could, but we can't. So we won't. Rowan. This Arabian crossbowman here is a corps, right? So he's going to move over here. Fortify. Rowan is going to... well, not Rowan. Damascus is what we're looking at now. This trader is going to go transfer to Warsaw. We're going to send that to Rowan, I guess, so we can just have a short little route for the unit it's working on. And here we're going to build what? I mean, I could build another bombard. That's not a bad idea. I wouldn't... I'll work on another bombard just because it's nice to have that. I mean, we might not end up getting it ready in time, but everything should work out in the end either way. We can form a corps later on with the other bombard if it survives. And we're going to keep going with the Hagia Sophia just to see if we can get some slam back in our step. And here, over here, we've completed a bombard. How long to complete a bombard here? 8 turns. We'll start on that, actually, and change Damascus's production to something else. I don't know what, but we'll change it to something else. Settler, maybe. Settler actually seems pretty good. We'll work on a settler. And here in New Orleans, we finished ancient walls to fend off any further nonsense from those their units. We're going to start repairing. Because now we can defend ourselves from the barbarians. Alright, and we'll walk here. And we'll fortify. And we'll go to the next turn. Yeah, the war effort, the invasion plans are coming along pretty nice. Did I settle recently? I didn't think I settled a city recently, but okay. That's fine. It's whatever floats their boat, you know? Let's actually see where other people are on the tech tree. Not too far ahead. I don't think anyone's unlocking really scary units. Natural history. What? Oh, right, that's build this here unit. We're still going to work on urbanization, but it's good to have that early, because the natural history does let us build a zoo, which, you know, as I mentioned, is pretty useful. And it appears that someone has completed the Hagia Sophia, so our experiment won't be figured out. Oh, well. Let's build a monument, just to have some cheap culture. Rifling might be nice. It would get us towards steel and combustion, which can let us upgrade our Mamluks this time. So, that's all very important. And here in Rio, let's see. Where's its entertainment complex? I think this is it. Is it? Let's click on it and see what happens. See where it is. No, it's over here. So that would provide amenities to 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. Provide amenities to a good number of cities if it did have a zoo. So Rio is going to work on an arena. Whereas Curitiba is going to work on a bank, because Curitiba has the ability to manage that sort of thing. We're going to leave this bombard corps here. We're going to get one more bombard corps before we start our little invasion. And this trader here, we're going to send it to Rowan, because we want to have that road. Yep, this looks like a very useful road. get working on it. Then we're going to send this guy over here. We'll move this guy over to meet him just because I'm impatient and I want to form that core. And this bombard is going to run over this way. Get everyone ready and in position. And this guy here, he can sleep until that tile becomes some of our territory. Let's see if we can actually form a core from the sea. Can we? Yes, we can, but it's a core that's embarked. Darn you. It's making our exploits not work. That's almost mildly upsetting. Yeah, so that's a good bit of gold. We are going to want to half that, so that we can actually afford to upgrade more than 2 of them. But urbanization is only 3 turns away, which will be enough time to get some bombards over. So, that's nice. All works out in the end. Frederick's going to denounce us some, as he is wont to do. And we're just not going to care. I mean, why do we have to care about? I mean, if France says, oh,
was set up a Colossus of 70.
Doesn't matter, quite. Yeah, so this is nice. It's good to have this extra trader that we've suddenly built. I don't remember what else it does, but it's nice to have this. Let's see what we could do. We could build some stuff. We could send a trader out to build a road. I don't know where I'd want to send it, though. Krakow. Let's see what Krakow has to build. Oh, what people have to build, at least. Philadelphia doesn't seem to have much it's working on. Industrial zone would be best technically here, because we could put mines on these hills. So we could build a worker in Philadelphia. It wouldn't take too terribly long, but it would mean having to leave public works in for a bit longer than I really care to. So maybe not. We could instead work on a madrasa, and I just don't get where all this faith adjacency is coming from. I don't get it, man. I don't get why we're getting so much faith from these darn madrasas. It's absolutely stupid. But, whatever. Let's go ahead and build ourselves a commercial hub. This is a little bit in New Orleans territory. But, I mean, I guess it doesn't... I don't really care that much, because it would protect the integrity of this here industrial zone. Which is pretty good. And here in Krakow, which has just stupid amounts of housing and population and production, we're just going to go to the most productive trade route that we have, which seems again to be to Cairo, because it always is, of course. We're just going to send that route over. I mean, I think we already have that road, but it shaved 3 terms off our industrial zone. It's pretty good. Worth it to me. We're going to send the flying riders. We're going to send them over here too. So we can send this bombard here to meet that bombard. We can just have a big bombard reunion where everyone will be nice and happy. And by nice and happy, I mean they'll be ready for murder. It'll be good fun. I gotta send all these fellows over to meet up, just so we can upgrade some field cannons. Doesn't even matter that much, to be honest. I don't need field cannons too terribly much, but they do theoretically seem a little useful. I mean, they're good for homeland defense, I guess. They're better than crossbows. And we're gonna embark you. And you can look around here, I guess. You know, it's sort of in your MO at this point. Alright, and Chetty's going to denounce us, but after we're done, if I remember, after all the diplomatic messages we're about to get hit by, I'm going to try and faith buy some great people, because I just kind of want to have all of that done. Confused you. They're just going to demand nonsense for, like, what great work. So let's see here. We could have Ada Lovelace for 900 faith. That'd be pretty nice. We could have... We could... No, we couldn't switch our government into theocracy because we haven't unlocked theocracy. Never mind. If I had theocracy, I might switch into it. Theocracy is actually a pretty decent government. It's just that it's a dead-end civic that you don't really need to research. But the 2 military and 2 government policies are actually pretty good. And the ability to provide units with faith is situationally good. You can get a few extra units really easy that way. Like you might have if you were in my situation. Or you might be able to if you were in my situation. We are kind of trying to snag some great people, though. Which ones? I don't know. Let's snag. We don't need this Great Admiral. I actually don't care if newbie gets that. We're gonna snag Ada Lovely just for the cheaps. Make sure we get it. Robert Goddard. That's important to work towards. Probably want to beat everyone else to him just so that we can prevent their space race victory. Because Robert Goddard's good for that. But you know, we could also ensure that our own. We could also maybe win a space race victory faster than a domination victory, depending on how things play out. Especially with how that other continent ended up being. Here in Marcial, we don't need none of these cavalry. Cavalry takes not as long to build as I thought it would, actually. We could build another bombard, right? Because we've got this the one that Warsaw has just finished all the way. Crap, it then ended up being built in the city itself. Garbage. It's actually faster this way. Just walk through here. Darn it. Ugh. Mild pain. We can kill that crossbowman, I guess. What are we gonna build in Marseille? We're building one bombard, so we're gonna get out another. Because it has, Marseille has an entertainment complex, but it doesn't have a zoo to build just yet. It'll get one soon enough, but not just yet. Warsaw probably should build another district. It's nice to have an encampment, though. Don't generally build a lot of encampments, but it feels nice to have one. Looks like you can get a decent harbor, so we'll do that. And we have envoys to send. Hooray. Field cannon, we'll get that request soon. Ironclad, probably not going to get that. Harbor, working on it. Great Admiral, probably not going to do that either. One amenity in Cities with the Commercial Hub is nice. Bonus resources, behave like that. We're going to definitely want that. This is going to address a lot of our amenity problems. Geneva. We're probably going to be at war. We're probably going to be at war a lot, and they have a lot of investment from their current suzerain, so we won't worry about it too much. I'm going to just instead put some stuff into Zanzibar so we can get a little money out of that. And Frederick's going to upset us, and he's going to whine at us in the middle of me moving my unit. How insensitive of this man. How dare he bring his big, short, fat, bearded nose face into my realm and talk smack to me about, I mean, my movement decisions for my units. What a punk. Whatever. We just have one more turn. We're going to swap in some lovely industrialization. Or not industrialization, but professional army. She's gonna denounce us, being a little shlibba-boop-bop-bing, because she thinks that we make things dirty, like that we're just dirty warmongers. But I've said it once before, and I'll say it once again. Little does she know that we take baths. And someone stole gunpowder. That's not a super important tech to us. That's a little bit far back on the tree, actually. That's yeah, it's a little funny, actually. That's a little funny more than it is anything else. Anyway. Change policies, ditch public works, put in a professional army. Very good to have that. Wait for everything to readjust. Oh, there we are. Yep. So, Horseman Corps, this is much cheaper. How much is it to upgrade this now? 230. So yeah, we can upgrade all of these. How strong is Cavalry Corps, by the way? 72 combat strength. Pretty good. Upgrade to a field cannon, which is going to complete us a request for Zanzibar. Upgrade to a field cannon, which is going to give us inspiration. And then there's this bombard corps. Then we're going to move this bombard over here. And we're going to form a corps here. So we're going to have two bombard corps. nice and ready. Fantastic military setup. All nice and good and cool. I'm going to send this bombard over here. And we're going to start, I guess, our attack on Paris pretty soon. I don't think Amsterdam has enough to be a real threat. We might put a few Mamluks on patrol around there. I don't think it's going to be a big issue for us. Let's see here. What can we work on? Steel. Steel might be nice. Would let us upgrade to artillery, which would kind of invalidate all the work we just put in, but whatever. We could work on flight. Could go for electricity. Let's see what technologies we might need. It might just be best to go for steel because, you know, combustion, upgrade our Mamluks to tanks. We're not going to have the money for that, though, for a bit, but we have the inspiration for it. Might as well. Right, 3 turns. We're going to have whatever bombards we're working on done by then, I'm sure. Right? Are we even working on bombards anywhere? Working on one in Marseille. That's going to take 13 turns, though. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of whatever. Anyway, let's go to natural history, because we will want some zoos. Scorched Earth doesn't provide us with anything that I really want right now. So, we're just going to ignore it. I mean, it gives us 2 envoys, which is nice and all. It's not that important. And Ada Lovelace, nice. So now we got to think of a city. We really want another district in. Like Curitiba. Does this have a... It's great production, but can't it put down another district? No, it cannot. Would I want to put down something? Probably an industrial... Doesn't have an industrial zone, despite how good its production is. Well then, Ada Lovelace, you're going to go on vacation to Curitiba. So we're going to take you far, far from your native homeland of what was formerly Poland, and send you all the way there to help improve that place. Well, this bombard just has to screw off and go the long way around. Honestly, actually, this probably isn't very safe. Let's go the other way around. Because, you know, war and all that. Oh, did we change? Yeah, we did. We put in professional army. So now comes the part where we have to actually get our military units into place, which is a little more of a pain than actually having to prepare the invasion. Paris does seem to have some defenses at the ready. And our timer's gone off, but we're going to play on just a little longer to get everything kind of arranged. El Propor. I'm going to move this cavalry out here because the bomb guard can use roads to move onto the hill. Right? That's something. Meanwhile, this bombard can walk here and maybe walk onto that hill. I mean, it doesn't have a road to do so, but it can do it. And we'll get this cavalry ready. We'll have this fellow here ready. We'll get this guy here ready. And in Sao Paulo, we could build things, right? We could build libraries, for example. Libraries are good. And we're going to have this just droning, maddening wheel sound in the background. And I'm going to be slightly paranoid because I think my recording software might have stopped, but it more probably just disappeared. And we're going to be sending high production trade route. Of course we are, because we want to get the arena and ready, and then eventually the zoo. But we're going to call that here. We're going to call this an episode. Alright, so this has been the QuickSmasherEXE. I hope you've been enjoying the series so far. I hope you'll tune in again next time. And, yeah. I will see you all then.